I bought Arthur's 600 bhp Golf R. Total revenue from 15th of December 2018 to now is... Guys, Happy New Year. I thought I'd kick off the first video of the year with a history video of my world famous Volkswagen Golf R. So this is a completely unplanned video, by the way. We was just up here getting some shots of the car, and I thought, what could I do of the video on the Golf R before it goes away? And I started doing some stuff for like vertical stuff for Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and I thought I need to do a history video of this car. So I've got the original videos here up on my screen of when I first bought the car. Now the way the conversation went with me and Ricky at the time, because Ricky had filmed that this 75-year-old man built a 600 brake horsepower Golf R video. At that point in time, so Ricky uploaded that video. I think it got a couple of million views at the time, which was unbelievable. Like, Ricky's channel at the time was on fire anyway, but for any channel, any car channel to be getting millions of views at that point in time, it was unbelievable. So Arthur actually blew the car up on a VMAX run. It wasn't, I don't think it was actually Arthur driving, but it was running, bursting at its balls. Like 600 brake horsepower for a stock engine is a crazy amount of power for any car, especially a 4-cylinder car. And they were doing a VMAX run. I don't know if they put ethanol in the tank. I can't even remember the full story, but the engine went bang. So at that point in time, the car was off the road. And when I discovered the car was off the road, I was on the phone to Ricky one night. I was like, Ricky, what is Arthur doing with the Golf R? Like, it's blown up now. What's happening with it? The person that was dealing with the repair on the car after it had blown up was actually Will at VRS. Now, I didn't actually know Will at VRS. I'd heard of him online. I knew he was a great VW guy, but I'd never dealt with him before. And I knew the car was getting its second engine in at VRS at that point. So I just said, well, I'm about to sell my Nissan GTR, which was a massive car for my channel. At this point in time, by the way, I had about, I don't even think I had 10,000 subscribers. I can't remember exactly. But I had a stage 4.25 Nissan GTR. And I thought, what car am I going to get next? So I was questioning Ricky, does Arthur want to sell the Golf R? And it turned out that he did. He was actually wanted to buy a TTRS at the time to get that running at 1,000 brake horsepower. That was his dream goal. It was crazy. That's why I think everyone just loves Arthur, because he always wanted big power cars. Before this, he had a 550 horsepower BMW M135i. So yeah, he's a lovely guy, and he clearly loves massive power. So Ricky actually spoke to Nick, who's obviously Arthur's son, and said, Nick, Calvin wants to buy your car. He's just selling his Nissan GTR. He wants to get something else for his channel. Does Arthur want to sell the Golf R? And Nick was like, well, yeah. So I actually bought the car at that point in time for £28,000, which was a lot of money really for a Golf R. But at the time, Golf Rs were a real hot topic. I was really trying to give my channel some extra effort. I wanted to commit myself more to the channel, and I wanted something that was going to be cool for the channel. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Other than the painful bit.
Yeah, we've got to pay for it. Yeah, we've got to do the pay. Still got to pay for it. That's the bit that Arthur's most bothered about. But yeah, we'll go back, deal with that, and done. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. Cheers. I'll be honest, I didn't really expect the reaction that I got would be as good as it was. So I kind of thought, if I buy a Golf R off the back of having a Nissan GTR, I wonder if people are going to think, well, Cal, this is a bit of a step backwards. But in fact, it was completely different. So I done the video of me collecting the car. I've got an itchy head. Could not take my woolly hat off though, because it's bloody freezing, as you can see from all the snow on the ground. Yeah, me and Ricky went down to Arthur's house one day, and I picked up the car. Agreed the deal, picked up the car. This was after Will put the new engine in it. It's all running now. The deal was, if I buy it off of Arthur, I've got to do a running in check with Will at VRS, which then sparked that relationship, of course. And yeah, picked the car up. And the idea was, when I bought the car, was I wanted my thumbnail to replicate the original thumbnail of Ricky's video. So if you look on the screen there now, you can see that my thumbnail is almost identical to the original thumbnail that Ricky put on YouTube when he uploaded his video. Obviously the reason for that was because I wanted to get as much traction as I possibly could. So my little channel that had less than 10,000 subscribers, I posted that video, and I can't remember how many views it got at the time, but right now it's on 1.1 million views. In a nutshell, that video just absolutely smashed it. And a lot of people criticised the fact that in that thumbnail I was shaking Arthur's hand with my left hand. Wow! But the reason for that was because I wanted that thumbnail to look identical to the previous thumbnail, and I think we absolutely nailed it. So, do you know what an interesting fact would be? Is to find out how much revenue that original video has generated for me on the channel. So it's now on 1.1 million views. I bought Arthur's 600 bhp Golf R. and I think I should be able to go to the analytics. Total revenue from 15th of December 2018 to now is 1.8k, so 1,800 quid in ad revenue I've made from that video in 4 years. So yeah, pretty good. Something else that was heavily commented about in this video was the fact that me and Arthur were both wearing NAFFCO54 tops. The reason for that was me and my brother had literally just bought and relaunched the brand, and I asked Arthur if he would kindly wear one in the video. Obviously, because of the amount of views the video got, it was great exposure for the relaunch of the brand. Nick said to me after the video went live that Arthur was super happy with his new NAFFCO54 sweater. From then onwards, I've done followed up content. I've done a video of me and my brothers, getting my brother's reactions. I've done fan reaction videos in the car. I got it to VRS, we tuned it. I've done a first drive video in it as well. I think the fact that it was a Golf R, which was a very popular car at the time, and the fact that it was running at double its original power. Originally they're 300 brake horsepower, and obviously at that point in time it was almost 600 brake horsepower, and the fact that it was meth injected as well. I just think it was a really cool thing for my audience. So my channel, I can't remember exactly, but I think I gained 40,000 subscribers in a very short amount of time. It took me from like I say, a small channel to almost 50,000 subscribers, and then that momentum continued. I'm freezing, by the way, my lips are cold, everything. That momentum sort of continued, and it gave me the I suppose the not even motivation. I wasn't poorly motivated. It just gave me the buzz that I needed for my channel, because YouTube, no joke, man, it's bloody hard work. So after I'd had the car for a little time, you lot know what I'm like with cars. I don't keep them for a very long time, and I soon got bored of the Golf R, and I thought I can't just sell this car, so I decided to do a raffle on it. And I've done a raffle, it went really well, and Aisha Basra, that was her name, I'll never forget her name. Aisha Basra, she was announced as the winner of the Golf R.
The winner from Leamington Spa of the hashtag on it Golf R meth injected beast, Aisha Basra.
Hey! Oh my God.
Aisha Basra, you won it. Wow.
And it was actually her boyfriend, who is, I think they're now engaged, so I follow the pair of them on Instagram. It was her boyfriend that encouraged her to enter. They bought a ticket each, and her name got drawn, and she won the car. Now, I met her after she won the car, and they decided as a couple they didn't want the car. It was just, they were a young couple on their journey in life. They didn't want the car, they'd rather had a cash payout. So the car then come back to me. I bought it back off them. I can't remember what happened after that. I think I sold it to a friend who then didn't want it, so I owned it a third time. I then eventually sold it to another customer of mine. He was just a subscriber to the channel. He bought it. He clearly really enjoyed it, and I'm not sure what the full story was. But sadly, after that, it ended up in an accident, and we have no idea who crashed it or what actually happened. I didn't know about it at the time, but I got sent a link one day. I can't remember who sent me this link. A few people probably. The car was on Copar, and I thought I have to buy this car. So I bidded on the car. At the time, I think it booked at about 15 grand as a running non-categorised car. I paid 15 grand for the car, smashed up, and I've since spent about £18,000 repairing it. And that does include another engine for the car. So this car is now on its third engine.
Jesus Christ.
Can you believe it? The setup that it's got now is this. We've got a slightly different hardware than before. We've got a V-Hot Performance intercooler. Shout out to V-Hot Performance, they supplied that to us. We've also got the meth bottle in the boot rather than under the bonnet, because the meth tank under the bonnet was just an inconvenience, because strangely it used the same bottle as the washer fluid would use, so you'd literally have to clean your windscreen even, with your meth fluid, which weren't ideal. It was expensive as well. So they're now separate. We've got the meth bottle's in the boot, and then the washer fluid bottle is under the bonnet. Now, ironically, that original video went up exactly 4 years ago this week. So I'm filming this video currently in the middle of December, and it was 4 years ago this week that I bought this car off of Arthur. And in June last year, so June 2021, so it's not last year, it's the year before by the time this video goes live. In June 2021 is when I bought it back from Copart. And it took a year to get it back on the road. So in June 2022, which was just in time for my car show, CCD the event 2022, I got the car ready, and I took it to the car show. Me and Kai arrived at the event on that day in the Golf R, and everyone was over the moon about seeing it there. And I always consider that this car, it is such an important thing on my channel, and it's so important to a lot of you lot. A lot of you lot have come here from 4 years ago because of this car. So It's a real significant part of my channel. So I've been running around in it. Will said to me, Cal, do a couple of thousand miles in it. It's had a new clutch, the gearbox has been out, it's had obviously a new engine, loads of drivetrain stuff. It's had absolutely loads of stuff replaced on it. Shout out to Darkside Body Shop as well, by the way. They're the guys that done all of the body work, and it is like the body work on it now is absolutely stunning. It's also only done just shy of 50,000 miles, so really low mileage car. Sadly, it is cat airs, but it's a proper nice thing now. We chose a quiet road to film, and we've been quite lucky, haven't we? Anyone that's driven past has sort of thought, he must be broken down. I'm not broken down. The nice thing about this car as well is it's a four-wheel drive car, so in conditions like today, it's absolutely fine. Now, yeah, so I've done the bedding in process, drove it for a couple of thousand miles. Obviously, I'm driving stock a lot of the time, so to try and put myself in the driver's seat of any one car, it's quite difficult, but I've done a couple of thousand miles in it. We took it to VRS a couple of weeks ago, and Will's now got it set up running at 530 brake horsepower, which is what he considers as a reserved level of power. And I've done the first drive in it, which a lot of you probably would have seen. 3, 2, 1. This car is a joke. No way. Run number 1. No way. Do you know what? I can't keep the excitement in. Run number 1, we just done 3.16 seconds. And I think this became in the top 3. You don't even know that, Nick, do you? You ain't even seen the video yet. It's actually in the top 3. I can't remember the exact time, but it's a seriously quick car. And for a 4-cylinder engine to perform like that up against things like F90 M5s, E63 AMGs, like it is literally up there with cars like that. So it's incredible performance for a little Golf. And the fact that it's full drive, you know, it looks the part and it's got so much history, it's quite a special thing. So I'm trying to think of other interesting facts. A couple of things that I've always wanted to do, which I've mentioned a lot in previous videos, is when I had the car before, it was always running on stock suspension. So we've now got, I can't even remember what suspension, I always forget names or deal with so many cars. But we've replaced the suspension. Of course, the previous suspension got damaged in the accident, so we've done that. So we've replaced all the suspension. We've got a set of Pretoria alloy wheels. For me, like Pretoria wheels, I think they're one of the most attractive sets of wheels on the whole car market. I think they look wicked, and they're finished in the original sort of light grey paint as well. We had them done at RRT in Luton. So it's now got a set of Pretorias, Michelin tyres as well. It used to have, I can't remember what tyres it had before, but the tyres used to get some serious stick in the comment section in the videos years ago. So we've had a full set of Michelin PS4S tyres on it as well, and it's on wheel spacers. And then at the front, a brand new set of Volkswagen Golf GTI Club Sport brake discs as well. So it brakes bang on. And you know what, it's just all of them things combined. It's just stuff that I always wanted to do, but I don't know, I just never really got around to doing. Obviously, when I originally had it, when I first bought it, I actually put my arsehole plate on it, which was quite an in-keeping kind of plate, because it was like an ASBO Golf R, and the arsehole plate's quite an ASBO sort of plate as well. So I run it with that plate on it for a long time, but now don't even know if this car's gone into my name. So although I've owned this car like 3, 4 or 5, I can't remember exactly how many times I've owned this car myself, but I haven't added myself as an owner each time. That hasn't happened. So I think it's actually got 4 former keepers on the logbook, and that includes me a couple of times, maybe Arthur, and the previous owner that had it before Arthur. So this time round, I just kept the YS64 GKY plate on it because I just think it looks original. And even when we rebuilt the car, we had ideas of doing wide arches and putting some track spec wheels on it and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I just want this car to be exactly how I always wanted it to be. I wanted the meth bottle in the boot, I wanted a set of Pretoria wheels, I wanted it lowered, and I wanted to get the steering wheel retrimmed. And something else that really bothered me is if we go inside, the gear knob sort of had like, it was pickled on top. And I know we've talked about a lot of this stuff in previous videos, but that was something that really bothered me. I am so particular with so many things in life. Honestly, you wouldn't want to live with me because I am so with so many things. And that gear knob just bugged the hell out of me. So yeah, we've got the steering wheel retrimmed. Shout out to Control Custom Steering Wheels. And I've got a brand new original gear knob and gear gator as well for it. Hold on, let me close the door because we've got another distraction.
2 hours later.
That is quality. That's wicked, isn't it? Oh, no way. I don't know if we're going to get... Are we going to get that far? Oh, no. I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to move. Can you get through there? Are you going to get through there or not? Nah? I can move. I'll move.
The loader would, but I don't know if the bale will.
Oh, of course not. Oh, it is freezing. So something else I had done was I had a brand new key made for it because it has got one key. Obviously, when you buy a car from Copart, you pretty much buy the car and the key, and that's it. If it's got any history with it, you're lucky. This car, I obviously know the history of this car, but unfortunately, I didn't get any of the service wallets, the manuals, nothing. I've tried reaching out to the previous owner, and I've had no response. So currently, I've got two keys because I had the second one made. I've got the car, the two keys, all of the stuff that VRS have done. They've obviously got that on their system, and a logbook for it. That's it. So, but luckily, like I say, I do know the background of the car myself. I think that's everything. I don't know, I just felt like we were sort of stood here with a camera and we just thought, I think I need to do a video talking about the history of the Golf R because this might be the last time we see it on my channel because, I don't know, after it's gone, it might just be gone forever. I might end up buying it back, that might possibly happen. I have mentioned as well that if whoever wins it decides they don't want it, they want a cash prize instead, I would consider that. But to be honest with you, I've kind of got no use for the car. I'd love to keep it as an ornament, but it's a bloody expensive ornament, isn't it? So, yeah, I know a lot of you have come here for this car. It's been quite an iconic part of my channel. And for a lot of people's eyes, it's just a Golf R. But for me and a lot of my audience, it's quite a special thing. So, yeah, for me, standing here 4 years later, yeah, with my hashtag on it, woolly hat on, with my Golf R in the background, with my hashtag on it sticker on the rear quarter, that, by the way, they survived the accident. We did replace them with new ones, but they actually did survive the accident. And so yeah, to be stood here now with a car all these years later, and it's still such an important part of my life and my channel, it's pretty cool. And to be able to give my followers a chance to win the car for nothing as well is also really cool. So yeah, I just see this as an opportunity to film a video. Couldn't really film much today because the road conditions are pretty poor, but something else that's really, really cool about this car is the fact that it throws flames, man. Like, check this clip out. Oh no, the tractor's coming back, quick. We don't want this car to be chaos again. You know, something else I've just thought about as well is we had an Audi Q7 in stock, and I bought an Audi Q7 12-volt cigarette lighter plug because they are just so neat. That's like a genuine VW part, and even down to that, like, it didn't have a cigarette lighter plug in there, and the fact that it had like an empty hole there, it just bothered the hell out of me. So I put that in. Like, so many little details in this car. It's fully perfect. And Will at VRS often says, Cal, this car is better now than it's ever been. They've done loads of stuff underneath. I can't even remember what they've done, but they've done so much stuff underneath that yeah, it just makes it a more perfect car than it's ever been. It's even got loads of fuel in it as well, which is for me is quite a rare thing. So I think that's pretty much it. One thing I can say that I've achieved from this car is, well, obviously loads of content, loads of subscribers, been great for my channel, but something else I've achieved is a great relationship with Will at VRS. Like, he's been a massive part of, he repairs a lot of cars for us at Binker. He's also been a massive part of the channel, and he's, on top of all of that, he's a bloody brilliant mechanic. He's a proper good VW specialist, German cars in general. So this car has definitely brought a lot to my life. It is, like I keep saying, it's just a Golf R through some people's eyes, but to me it's been quite an important thing. So obviously I have announced that I'm giving this car away on Planet of Dreams. If you want to be in for a chance of winning this car for completely free, you can enter if you want. You don't have to enter, but it is free. I would highly recommend going to the website, link is in the description below, enter for nothing. I'm going to be announcing the winner on Friday the 13th, because this car is a little bit, it's like the curse of my life in probably quite a good way, but I decided to do it on Friday the 13th of January at bang on midday, all right, on the Planet Dreams Instagram. So if you've not entered, go and enter. I think I've covered everything. If you've got any questions, by the way, question me in the comments below, and I'll either reply to them in the comments, or I'll even do some follow-up videos on my Instagram or TikTok or something. All right, so guys, I know this video probably would have attracted a lot of the OG fans, or the originals from the channel, the old day subscribers, people that love the Golf R, but for anyone else that's unfamiliar with the car, I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I also hope that you all have a wonderful new year, going into the new year with a fresh mindset. Yeah, it's a new year, it's 2023. 23 is actually my lucky number. It's my missus' birthday, it's also Kai's birthday. 23 is a big number for me, and I hope that every single one of you watching has a great new year. Go into it with a positive attitude and make stuff happen, all right? So I'm gonna wrap it up and leave it at that, because I've got the car coming up the hill now. But do me a favor, hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe if you're new. Got plenty of ideas for 2023. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.